I think we're up and running. Or at least I hope so. We'll find out. What's up, Greg? Oh, and there's my buddy. How you doing? How are the kids? I have not seen your little tiny ones in forever. What crafty on? I also run a horror gaming for you in forever, and that's just not okay. How is it sounding on your guys' end? Everything sounding okay at least? Sweet, sweet. I'm glad they're good. They're adorable, so they have to be good. Because you have to make them into amazing nerds. Which I'm sure they will be. Sweet. Alright, I think I got everything I need. Just having like the tiniest panics as I'm like, alright, got that, got that. Got our little introduction set up, which that's off kilter for some reason. Let me see if the other ones are. Oh, I think I might know why. Okay, so that one's off. Sorry, checking all. I checked one window. I didn't check all the windows. So let me make sure all of the monster stuff is actually set up correctly for you guys. Because today should be a day of some monstery stuff, some just general creation stuff. Kind of just going to depend on what we decide to do. I have no exact game plan. Most of my game plan is just testing to make sure that the stream's actually working first. And then getting into that's all the kind of creating stuff. Okay, so that one's fine. So let me fix this, because I think I know what's wrong. So yeah, today's stream. Oh, by introduction. Hi, my name's Jake. I work for Parlor, and I'm a code developer and writer for Retroscape. I'm also the narrator for Retroscape: The New Frontier, which is our stream that we have every Tuesdays. Generally, every Tuesdays. There's a stream every Tuesday. Sometimes it's the campaign if everyone's able to, or it's been dev chats. I think we had 2 dev chats so far on Tuesdays, but we should be back to doing the next set of adventures and campaign fun. Yeah, I'm pretty much just here testing out, building some stuff, having some fun with creating different monsters, different things like that. There is... I'm going to need to test one thing for myself. See if I can fix what's wrong with the capture so you guys can actually see what I type in this doc if I need to. You can watch me mess up that, so that's nice. But yeah, that's pretty much what we're working on. Is just going to be doing not character creation. We did character creation last 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. So this is just going to be monsters and NPCs and who knows what. But yeah, I have no real plan for this one, so we'll find out how well that works. This will be fun. Okay, that fixed it. Sweet. Turns out that has different comment sections. So, what do we work on today? I got a couple things I could do. I have monsters, of course. I always love monsters. If I do any monsters, I'm not going to do any that just came out in the book that should be coming. The PDF's out. PDF looks very nice. You can buy the PDF if you don't. If you have not bought the PDF yet, you can go to parlorgaming.com and you'll be able to find the PDF through there. It's $7, I think. We can actually check it real quick. At parlorgaming.com. See how much. Excuse me a second. There's a giant ass spider that is on the inside of my house, and it should not be. Sorry for the spider lovers, but I didn't have a way to capture him right now. If you go to Retroscape book in PDF, you can find the PDF, and you can order the book if you would like. The PDF is just $6.99. If you already have the PDF, like if you bought it previously, I believe you get it if you have bought the book through us already, but for some reason do not have the PDF, shoot us a message and we will make sure you get the PDF because you should have it. And of course, if you're a patron on our Patreon, for just $5, you get the PDF for free. So yeah, and you get an adventure every month. Getting back and doing that. We just had the Teach a Fish to Bite, which is kind of just a weird. I felt like making a lot of pun adventures. So yeah. So today, I think I covered all my stuff. Join our Discord, all that stuff. But I think everyone in here is on our Discord right now. So we can make some new monsters, either variants, like some variant gremlins or robots or colony members, things like that. I also have we can look through the brainstorms. You guys can, those who may not be a Patreon member yet, you can see what we have working on. If you are a Patreon member, you can actually look at the developer docs, which are basically just the not polished things yet that have not gone live. For example, what you're looking at right now is the brainstorm of our introduction, which I'm kind of getting things organized, like getting the different features or tags that monsters will have, like immunity to bleeding or immunity to a certain damage type, if an ability requires a roll to resist it, things like that. The introduction from Malcolm Moxie that was in the original book, and I was in the original book. It's not in this one because monsters aren't in that book, but all the monsters will be on our Google Drive, since we're going to update things as we go. So I guess that kind of depends. Yeah, what do you all wish to do? Do you wish to make something new, or do you want to update a new variation of a creature? Or we can also work on NPCs and organizations if the chat wants to build a brand new organization. I'm gonna drink my soda while you think about that. Hello, Veronica. How are you? Das Monsters. Yes, Das Monsters. And yeah, it's inevitable your kids will be nerds because you are one of the biggest nerds, and so is your lovely wife, who still terrifies me from our zombie game. I'm going to tell you all a quick story. Organization can equal cult, yes. Yes, if you would like a cult, Wordcraftian, we can make you a cult in this sci-fi game. Do you actually want to know about one of the cults that exists? There's a cult that I believe we nicknamed the Followers of the Labyrinth. I don't know if they're fully out there. But we have Minotaurs in the game right now. And the Minotaurs are genetically modified cultists that decided during the War of Eden, as the world was burning and crumbling to the ground, that the only way to save themselves was to take on mantles of the monsters of old. Partially because of Delphi being named Delphi, they kind of got it twisted in their head that that was the only way to really save things. The other idea is for them to actually be after the War of Eden, and that's why they went on with Minotaur, just because of that. But they are genetically modified humans that literally splice themselves to become Minotaur creatures. And they follow the path of the labyrinth, which haven't really delved into that too much, but we can totally make some cult stuff up. Let's see. Let's see. I wonder what you want to do. It probably starts with a C and ends with an Ulu. We do have some kind of weird creatures as well. Like we have the Gnashers, which are a kind of alien-like creation where they're just an endless void of eating, where they eat lots of things. What else do we have? We could probably make some. We have the colony, If we wanted, ooh, we could make a cult. Ooh, we could make an organization or a cult that like tries to follow the colony, those who have not yet been accepted by the colony, the giant bug creatures. What other monsters we have? If you want, in case anyone doesn't know this yet, go to retroscaperpg.com. You can actually see the playtest index on there. There'll be a little tab on the right side. You can click on it, and you can see all of the monsters that are currently live and active. I'm trying to think of some of the like more culty creatures we got right now. Um, ooh, this is interesting. Monster want to be part of a monster cult. I mean, monster cult. We can easily make that a kind of horrific thing. I'm wondering if we could do something that could actually even be inside of Delphi. Like there's an organization cult. Um, ooh, I made a cult of the Revolterra. Ooh, and a Void cult. Okay, guys, it sounds like we're doing a cult day. I think we're gonna have to build a couple of these things out. So, this is gonna be fun. All right. Well, that means we have to organize some stuff. So, I'll actually go ahead and use the monster intro for this. Yeah, you know what? I have to do that pretty easily. I will. Let me get to an actual page I can use. So right now we have a void, a cult of the void, void cult of the void. Is that now? Is it the void or is it fractured beasts? And Revolterra, Greg, I love that you did that because the Revolterra is something we kind of keep toying with. Is the which if you read the lore, I think that's already out there. There is a little hint in it of more humanoid Revolterra that have come into existence, which I realize is, that's kind of a common occurrence in sci-fi games where the monsters suddenly get a little bit more humanoid just to be more terrifying. But I really, you gotta love those classic horror games, man. Horror Midwest. I'm sorry. Word Crafty knows what I'm talking about. Um, they're down for the horror games. Anything from some Cthulhu, Otherworld, Elder Gods to zombie games. Horror. I think that's more like East Coast. Okay, so they just straight up, oh my god. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and go down to this. We're going to use this dock. I'm going to make a new. All right. Here we go. This is going to be for the stream. Oh, where did all of my lost my stuff? I don't have my top bar anymore. Don't know why I don't have my top bar, but it's gone. So I'm not entirely sure. This accent. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Okay, now it's back. That was really weird. So we have the Cult of the Void, or Void Cult. Let me actually get this going for you guys. That's what I need to do. I need to get a doc up that I could use for just like writing down stream notes. All right, stream curations. All right, so we have our Void Cult, whose calling is to bring about more fractured beast and potentially void children, which means that they somehow learned about that. They learned the secret of the fractured. Oh. Did I get lost? Okay, my thing said I was offline, so I got real confused. All right, anyway. YouTube streaming, it just loves to confuse me. All right, so they're wanting to bring forth more fractured beasts, potentially void children. Ooh. Well, okay, there we go. This computer. Turns out Jake might need to get a new computer if he wants to do more streaming, because, ooh boy, this is getting interesting. Greg, technically, maybe, or it might just be rumors. I mean, if the cult let people know, then Depot would probably try and stop them. Well, I'm sure Depot wants to stop them no matter what, but it also means that somehow, all right, so potentially void children, Call of the Void due to their ooh, Max. I see you. I know you're excited about this. I know you're all about the void kids. Uh, their cult is like the fractured beast flock to them. Interesting. Potential control over fractured beasts. Let's see. Let's see. Ooh boy, it is not enjoying this. It is not enjoying me trying to type that at the same time. Definitely, that is some terrible, terrible typing. I know you do. You love the void. Uh, that's yeah, but yeah, Wordcrafty and you and Max would get along. By the way, you guys never got to meet yet. You guys would get along when it comes to anything like the horror baseline, like um, elder gods, void things, all that kind of stuff. Interesting. Oh my god, they're gonna build a super fractured beast. Oh, okay. And super fractured beast creation. All right, all right. I see what you guys are going with. Now, how do we, at least from a flavor side, uh, justify their knowledge of the fractured beast? Since even in Depot, fractured beasts are like super super unknown of necessarily where they got. Like Depot, as far as I think Depot knows, higher ups do. I don't remember if even low level Depot operatives know. They might not actually know exactly. They might hear rumors around the rumor mill and whatnot. So how do we have these guys? Are they a former Depot operative? Are they someone from like the past? Ooh, because for those who may not have read the lore of it yet, Eloy, who was the original Depot operative basically and the founder, actually was the first quote unquote Depot. His father experimented on him to turn him into a super soldier. This was before the War of Eden. And during the war, as the missiles and the apocalypse started, Eloy actually sucked all of Paris into his void. Ooh. Their leader is the one person to ever wake from the coma after bringing a void child into existence. Interesting. To wake from the coma after making a fractured. Void child. Ooh, it could be a Rogue Depot operative too. I mean, that would fit well with that. Rogue Depot learned rumors and researched, ran off. Maybe the void. When you look in the void looks back, and it told him to go be a bad guy. Okay. With that, okay, interesting. So now we have to figure this next part out. I feel like, at least for me, I think it's the next base thing. So they're a cult, obviously. Now, cult, they can be a very sci-fi cult. They can also be a more oddity. The question is, do we make these guys still using rigs, so they have to have the computers, or are, because right now Depot has to use the math. They use algorithms, math, and equations to do what they do, even for making fractured beasts or things like that. So I wonder if they have rigs, and they've basically made like almost bootleg rigs that anyone can try and use, which, if you fail, guess what? There's now another Void Child or another Fractured Beast. But if you succeed, then cool, you're now a Depot operative. You're a rogue Depot agent. Ooh, this might be interesting with that. I think for sure they have to have a rig. I think that's just going to be a standard. I do kind of like the idea that they basically exploit people by one giant rig known as the and so they're all that could be interesting. It'd be a really powerful computer. The mother rig. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna put it down. I have no idea for sure, but I'm gonna put it down. That would, yeah. I mean, that would kind of fit with what Brennan said. That actually. Oh, hi, Brennan. What's up? You've come in at the wonderful point where we're making fractured chill. Daniel's. By the way, I didn't get to tell you this. Daniel isn't going to be here till like 2ish, so he's going to come into the weirdest conversation. I feel like. Ooh. That could be interesting too. Yeah, okay. So we got a couple ideas. So hang on. We have the mother rig. We have our high-level members. Members went into the void and tapped into it. We have some psychedelics, which honestly, not a bad way to make some bad guys. Pretty powerful. Okay, let's see. Kidnap people off the street and force them to create fractured beasts in their own void space to action. Ooh. Oh, Max. Max, that is evil. I like that. I'm actually... You know what? I'm just going to copy and paste these ideas right now, guys, because I realize I can just do that. Make sure that works. Yes. Okay. Yes, I know you are. Okay. So we got a couple ideas now. Oh, this is getting interesting. All right. So, tippy tappy. Let's give the void a slappity. Oh God, he's here. All right, everyone, be cool. Be cool. No one tell Daniel what we're doing. So we have he totally can't see the stream. It's okay. Wow, this is fascinating to think about. All right, so we got a couple ideas we can play with, and really we can kind of combine some different things. So I really like the kidnapping people idea, not the idea of kidnapping people. Specifically, this is for villains. Let's be clear. Whoever's watching the stream. So these villains kidnapping people could be a lot of fun. We could potentially have them making the void into a drug, kind of like what Daniel just talked about, and maybe some stuff like that. Accessing the void via... Ooh, what... Okay. What if... Okay, so what if they made a drug from the void / fractured beasts in some way? that allowed them to do that kind of access, forcing people to access it, things like that. That might be interesting. Oh God, it's Soylent Green. It's people moments. Uh, oh man, I forgot to ask. Also, Brennan, I'm sorry. Uh, oh man, I didn't nap enough. Void bomb, a bomb that tears a rift in time space to open up a void space. Claw the way through, summoning more monsters. Max, you realize, Max, you do realize anything you tell me I can use in the stream, right? Like that's just going to happen now. That's just how this works. All right, so we have a potentially a void bomb. That's kind of terrifying. So, yeah, I'm honestly, when you guys post ideas, I'm just gonna start copying and pasting them now. I think it's way easier on me. Uh, at least for the ones that are longer. So we have, ooh, okay. So right now, to kind of review what we have a cult, the Cult of the Void, Void Cult. I'm not really sure. Probably want to find like a kind of fancy is the wrong word, but some sort of name like that. Yeah. Uh, the One Void, something like that. They are attempting to bring forth more fractured beasts and potentially void children because of their dealings and dwellings within the void, and because they are so unstably using it, because they're using it so recklessly. So they are recklessly using it. Wow. They are actually like catnip to the fractured beasts, so that's kind of fun. Um, Siblings of the fractured. Ooh, I like that. Siblings of the fractured. Add that to the name. Let's see. Let's. If you guys got more name ideas, feel free to throw them in. Siblings of the fractured. We're gonna put that one in there. So, potential control over fractured beasts on higher levels. Um, I do love that idea of like almost fighting someone that has this like beat up and just patched together rig, and like Deep Offer's like, oh my god, it's like it's a Depot agent that clearly got messed up, but instead you see there's just like tubes running from the. Oh, what if yeah, like there's tubes running from the suitcase into their body, and it actually pumps them full of the energy. Ooh, we could have a Bane. We could have a Bane style thing, whether it's not that exactly, but like they could have just some terrifying bruiser depot characters that are just pumped full of the void, and it just turns them into fractured beasts or like semi-fractured beasts. Ooh, Daniel, we figured out druids maybe. Um, okay, now I'm picturing this idea of just like messing with this computer, and it's or yeah, like that depot, and also you see just like that shadowy, flaky, like into the void essence from Fractured Beast just going into them, and them just becoming this big monstrous thing, or shooting off singularities back and forth. We're gonna have to. It's definitely gonna have to be a drug now because that just sounds cool. All right, so we have. Let's see. Praying to a. They're attempting to make a super fractured beast. Something that is basically going to be worse than anything they've ever seen. So, for those who have played Scraped before in our Patreon or in the book, that's the Fractured Behemoth, so it'd be worse than that. It'd probably be worse than the Fractured Dragon that's also in the playtesting. For those who have never gotten to see the Fractured Dragon yet, if you look at the old one in the original book, if you have the original book, look at it then and look at it now, and it is night and day what we did to that one. All right, so using psychedelics, they can tap into the void without needing to rig at high levels. Potentially something called the Mother Rig, a giant rig that multiple cult members use, which I think might be that might be something. Maybe that's why they're also kidnapping people as well. Like they're trying to get they're trying to get technology and deep operatives down the road. They need to build like the most insane rig. They have to build like a city-sized rig, maybe, or maybe that's their goal. They're like found some city. Okay, where are these guys located? Let's figure out that. Where should we locate these guys? Are they inside Delphi, or are they somewhere else? Because I do want to put, I want to make some villains in Delphi still, but if they're somewhere else, they could actually be building a city-wide rig, maybe somewhere. Ooh, making some hallucinatory fractured beasts, terrifying. Okay, so yeah, okay, where on Earth should we put these guys? Hmm. See, that's what I wonder. Ooh, this is a hard one. Okay. I feel like if they're closed, I want to. Here's the thing: if they're in Delphi, that's fine. If they're not inside Delphi, I want them to be somewhere in the world. I think because I feel like that the person like no one would be too close because they know they could hide better outside. Plus, it adds some things, and then at that point, you could even have like an entire city. Maybe that's a city of fractured beasts. Ooh, that's a saga right there. That's a full blown saga where you have to get through a city of fractured beasts, void children, and worshippers to get to the core of the mother rig. Hmm. They definitely probably have some side effects to make them stand out. Kind of like how if you're a deep operative, you're when you're doing certain things, you have a I think it's a vent. Is that right, Daniel? Or some word for it where you're like everyone's the deep operatives can all do similar singularities, but they always look a little different from each other based on how they're doing it. Like some have like spider webbing cracks in the air, some look more like it's like like a camera. What's it? Aperture? Yeah, aperture. Some might just look like a sudden just zipper in the air opens up and then suddenly you have. I was gonna say void sword, and that sounds wrong after saying zipper in the air. Hmm. Anyway, you get the point. Close. That's true. They could be. Hmm. I don't know. I do want to put them somewhere. Yeah, I forget the name of it too. It had some cool name to it. It's somewhere in there. I'm not going to go look it up right now. Um, 5 points to whatever house figures it out. Eyes look more like. God, Max is just on a roll right now with this kind of stuff. All right. Okay, so we got. Okay. See, again, I'm torn because I do want to fill out more of the world, which, to be fair, we don't figure out where they are right now. But a goal of them building the mother rig to actually, like, be this massive computer rig. Mm, excuse me, guys. Where'd you go? It's a big ass bug. I'll be right back. I'm sorry, there is a giant mosquito, and I really don't want to deal with it. Yeah. Damn you, Midwest. Emissions. Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry about that. Big mosquito, and I did not feel like having that bite me. Okay, so, ooh, DC. If they're in the Pentagon, ooh. City of the Fractured. Why am I not reading? They're emissions. Okay, so the emissions. City of the Fractured. Through physical sacrifice of many cultists, a tiny permanent into the Okay, entrance to the void has been opened in an abandoned city. This is a home base for the cult where they worship the void. Ooh, I mean that works. So, to be fair, the Pentagon would have supercomputers if they're trying to get those. Hmm. Okay. Okay. Let's get. All right. So let's say they're in DC. Let's use DC for this right now. Let's because also I do like the fact that there'd be a supercomputer. That or where's the Hadron Collider thing? Yeah, the city of the fractured, but it's in the Pentagon. Yes, I like that a lot. I was gonna say either that or wherever the Hadron Collider. That is cool. Okay, that's already the city of the fractured. Yes, Daniel. This is all just a commentary on the world that we have now. We're commenting. That's what it is. We're social commentary, except we have sci-fi. Okay. So Ooh, okay. So I'm gonna get to use the fractured abominations a lot. I have a feeling. That is actually something that we could play around with today, if people would like to make some. We could make some cultists, and we could make some fractured beasts. Um, the Heldron Clark, the other things. It's yeah, it's true. Okay, yeah. We'll have to yeah, we'll use the okay, we'll have to use that for later then. We will definitely have to, ooh, that'd be something fun for later. That's where the V Primatus is going. I don't know why. Maybe that's where Echo comes from. I don't know. There's a lot of fun things we can do there. All right. So we have the Pentagon because that's just awesome. Um, it's gonna have a entrance into the city of the Fractured, which is the home of the siblings of the Fractured. Right, siblings of the Fractures, something like that. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna need. What do we need for these guys? So we actually got a pretty good stuff. So we need cultists, obviously. Um, what would we have if we were doing this? Let's kind of build the city out of it. Why not? So, if you're a cultist, are the I'm gonna guess we have different types of cultists. We're gonna have those who can actually use depot tech pretty well. Um, those who cannot and are more just followers and maybe learn some like small things and like get the psychedelics in that way. And then we have those who are pulled in, maybe an underground city underneath the Pentagon and access via. Ooh, interesting. I'll add that to the list of that. Okay. Adding more things. This is getting interesting. Now you all see how me and Daniel make stuff normally. We're just throwing ideas at the wall and just seeing what we decide to use. But to be fair, we now have either inside the Pentagon or under the Pentagon in some way. There is the city of the fractured. Oh yes, they are better. But I'm saying they have an idea of how we do it. So they're underground, which they're in the bunkers that the Pentagon has probably. So they've buried themselves underground. Because isn't there actually is that a rumor or is that am I thinking of some other place that there's supposed to be like an underground city under some like massive like what's the word, government building, is that the word I'm thinking of? I don't remember. Um, all right, so we have a drug that they do use. They have void bombs, which could that sound? Ooh, there's a lot of things we can do with that. Kidnapping people to turn them into void beasts, or fractured beasts. That may be what I'm talking about. I'm not real sure. Okay. So, okay. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of underground cities under a lot of things. Isn't Chicago built on top of old Chicago? Max is just here making a bunch of... Oh, they're excited for the void creatures. Okay. Adding that to the list. Alright, so we have quite a few... Okay. So, let's figure out some weird things for them. I told them that, okay? I told them that, and they keep being like, no, I'm not good at it. And yeah, I'm gonna make fun of Max right now. Yeah, no, I... Just saying. Anyway, another monster city by the ghouls. I don't think the ghouls will show up and just get destroyed. Oh. I will make fun of Max all I want. I'm allowed to. What happens if a ghoul gets a rig? Like, not like if you're playing a character who's a ghoul, a player character, but like a monster city fighting a monster city. Yeah, that's true. War of the Dead and the that is so terrifying. Unborn or not born? I can't tell which one sounds scarier or creepier. Okay, so it looks like they are in the 2 Cold War powers. Oh god, they're pretty good. Well, Nova Scotia wasn't part of the Cold War, was it? It might have been. I don't remember. That was just right. Is Nova Scotia's? Is it? Oh god, no. Okay, no. Was it? This is how bad was it history. Not dead, not born. Yeah, we actually we don't have anything like humans doing that, but we have some fun stuff that we can use with that. God, now I don't know if I want to switch over to anything else, any other groups, or organizations, or monster stuff. This is pretty fun. Okay, so we have a lot of fractured stuff. Okay, cool. I'm not crazy. Greg, I'm upset that Greg has better history than me. Not because I'm upset at that, really. It's more the fact that I know Greg is younger than me, and Greg is paying attention to world issues that happened before he was born. Actually, they happened before I was born, too, I think. Yeah, Kennedy. Yeah, it was before I was born. Wow. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Brennan. Yeah. Hey, do it, man. Love what you want. Love history, man. People have to learn from history. Fracturelings would put a very interesting ramifications for Paris. Now, there could be an argument that Eloy, because he's not trying to corrupt them, is actually able to protect them. It could also be said that they're just staying sane and normal because they stay inside the void. Maybe if they step out, they actually start becoming fracturelings, which would actually kind of fit with some lore that we had at first, where they start falling apart. So that could be interesting. Okay. God, do we start? All right. Question is, do we start making? Do I start making these creatures out, or some of the cultists out, or do we want to make another organization or group and do some notes? What would the chat like to do? I'm fine with either one. We can add more to the Fractured Beast cult and Siblings of the Fractures, Cult of the Void, this kind of stuff, or we can start working on another group and kind of bounce back and forth if we want. What sounds good to you all today? I got 1 vote for some of the cult. Cult, okay. Damn, my boss said cult. That means I might have to do it. To be clear, Daniel's my boss. All right. Let's see what. Let me pull up some. All right, then let us get some NPCs. Cult. All right, we're making the cult. We'll make the cult. We'll make the cult. All right. So, the Theodosian Society canon. Multi-dimensional rifle. What does that mean, Daniel? What is a multi-dimensional rifle? I'm terrified to find out, actually. Come on. Load. A group of anti-cultists that hunt down cultists with multi-dimensional rifles. Max, I told you you'd get along with Daniel. That's why I wanted you to join the stream. There's a reason I talk about Daniel way too much whenever I'm hanging out with you. None of you heard that. Shh. So. The bullets are able to hit targets that exist in our dimension or in overlapping dimensions. Ooh. No, I mean, sometimes. It's more like, aw, Daniel did the thing. Aw. A cult that... Boyd Craftian, I feel as though you're making some social commentaries on some things. But also, it sounds pretty fun. Actually, that's kind of... Ooh. That would be some computer... That's some Skynet stuff, I feel like. We gotta make like a computer cult one day like that. Where they're like... Even it's something... If they believe it's a god, and it turns out it's just a computer that's trying to overtake things. Void gets... Mostly lazy. Max, you just want more void animals. Alright. So... So, basic cultist. We have our civilian that we can use. That seems like a good start, I feel like. So, Squitch the god now. Nah, Squitch is dead, and no one can tell me otherwise. Because Kristen's busy. Squitch thought they were a god, but God's dead. Just like Squitch. Dead, 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 dead. No one tell Kristen, but I totally am working on a Squitch adventure right now. No one tell her, though. Daniel's gonna start a stream so he can tell me I'm wrong. That's amazing. Void. Nothing wrong with more void animals. Alright, so. Let us do... I think I'm good. I'm gonna close. Oh. Whoa. Easy. Things are going crazy. Let me open this to get this so I can put this on my other computer. That'll be easier on me. Hopefully. We're gonna find out. Probably not. So, Squitch dies in the end. Look, I'm not saying I have an idea what the idea for Squitch is, but 7 deadly Squitches, Squitch and the 7 robots, lots of different weird jokes I have there. We'll play with that later. Squitch lives on in all of our heads. What should we in hearts? No, our heads. They put a bomb in our heads. That's the problem, is when Squitch actually dies, and then it turns out it was always true that they put a bomb in everyone's head so that when Squitch died, all the Neurogram members died, just to go out with a bang. But Boring creature in the setting. Oh God, what is a boring creature we have? The floating jellyfish. What are they called, Daniel? I don't say they're boring. They're cute and adorable, but they're like something like that. Yeah. Okay. So let's build us a cult. Da 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 da. All right. I'm gonna use this as the workshop area for me. Make it a little easier on myself. Floating jelly. It's like jelly clouds. I don't remember. There was it was from Tephra and we pulled it over because everyone loved them so much. They was just really cute. It's all I remember about them. So, that being said, we're gonna need cult members. How many types of cult members do we want to build? I figure I mean, basic civilians you can just pull from civilians and use them. I feel like we need at least like fodder ones, but like should all cultists be able to use the void in some manner? Specifically, I mean, should they be able to have access to singularities? And if so, is it like just one? Take normal. Let's just add 1, 2 features. Yes. Oh no, don't worry, Max. Yeah, we're gonna have things like that, variants, stuff like that. I have some fun ideas for that kind of stuff. I think what it would be is you take the void teleport ability and you give them teleport. And if you do that, you actually technically have a fractured beast of any kind. It's just if you want it to have other things too. Like if you go into, I think you have you have access to the PDFs and whatnot. But if you look at the live docs, you can see, like I think we had fractured lion, we had a fractured dragon, we had an abomination is one of the ones we have. Let's see, fractured starts with an F, so we actually will need the fractured document for this. So bouncing around for that. All right, so basically you see your void for low level. Yeah, rigs have way more places. Okay, so I'm trying to think what we do with this. If we're gonna do fractured beasts, I will say the abominations, which I think are on the dock right now, should be. I kind of made it to be like the filler fractured beast for people who want to just make like a weird thing. Not necessarily an elemental, like in fantasy settings you have elementals usually, because we kind of have soul forms, but like kind of like that where you could have something that's just like a weird amalgamation of an idea or a shape or something a part of it. Like if you had just a different, what are those things? Just abominations was what I think of. Just like something that didn't get fully formed, like an idea that wasn't fully formed out, but it latched onto something and just held onto it and then became this either whirling blades just kind of moving around but teleporting like a fractured creature, or just this void fire that's just burning constantly, or even this large hulking golem-like fractured creature that was like just a statue that the depot operative saw before they died. Something like that was kind of what I was thinking with fractured abominations. All right, so yeah, let that load. So we're gonna need some civilians for cultists. All right, so let's do cultists first. What kind of cultists do we want to use? Are there any chat? If you want, go look at Depot. Tell me what singularities or void wraps or abilities you really want to see them use, and if there's also like some kind of twist on it you can think of as well, I would love to see. So let's use this first for our cult. This will be our cult of the void, or siblings of the fractures, the fractured siblings of the void. something like that. All right, so do. You know what? Yeah, no, hang on. Let's just pop that. Pop that. And we can just put this. Oh, nope, not there. Put that right there. Okay. Daydreamer. These cultists are unconscious and prone, usually left as bombs. Fractured abominations seep from cracks in their skin. Killing them is easy. Getting to their bodies less so. Ooh. Ah, man. General Attic who serves the cultists in the next fix. These may be influential people or nobodies. Ooh. The idea cultists have a bad habit of spiritually traveling into the depot operatives' voids. Oh, God, that's horrible. Ooh. Okay. So we got some... Sorry for those listening with headphones. The humidity and the bugs. Looks like a couple mosquitoes got in the house, and the bat outside didn't get them. But it's okay. I still love the bat. Good evening. You're just in time to watch us make a cult of the void. Siblings of the Fractured. Siblings of the Fractured? Is that what we're going with? The Siblings of the Fractured? I really like that. So I'm gonna have to go back through these notes and just highlight them all again and copy them over. So let's go. Let's make a basic cultist first. Actually, we'll even copy these guys over. I do love the idea that Max had of the bomb characters and even the fodder and whatnot. Yes. Potentially hive mind. Interesting. Potentially hive mind. Communicating into other voids, or dropping into other voids to silently communicate. Interesting. Okay. So let's make a basic cultist. Cultist of void for now. I'll probably say they are we'll make them a 1/8. You know, let's make it so that it takes a couple. Haha. What's up, Curtis? Oh, more friends are showing up. Yay. So we have Cultists of the Void. Are there any depot abilities that people think they should have? I don't want to do Rift Bolts only because that... I don't want to make it so that they always hit. I like the idea of them missing, and the Rift Bolts will always hit 1. Now, granted, if we do that, we could do that, but I'd raise their par probably to a 4th, maybe even a half, but still make them kind of weaker, just to kind of balance that out. I feel like the void mustaches, ability to grow void mustaches. Dude, pork shoulder sounds so good, Curtis. Why you do this to me? Fair enough, though. So, we could... Singularities. This is some interesting ones. What are some good void reps they have? I don't want to open another one because I feel like it's going to slow down the second I try and open it. But let's find out. Inkblot. Inkblot. I don't know what that one is, so let's find out. Caustic spray. Those are... Alright, let's find out what this looks like. Alright, let's go to the depot. I'm going to use the PDF for this because it loads faster. Okay, it's not perfectly aligned, but that's okay. I hope you're all okay with that. So, all right, we got. Let's see. So far, we've had ink blot and caustic spray. So let's go look at those singularities real quick. Ink blot, but only when frightened. I wish I remembered all the singularities. I just do not. Ink blot. All right. So ink blot is the removes all light in a very small space. Ooh, that is a good one. Blinds one target. Okay. Move in order to exit the ink blot. Not move or wait until the end of the next turn when the ink blot will fade. Ooh, okay. Okay. Cult of Squids. Daniel, no! Word crafting, you'll get excited. It's a big Cthulhu fan back there. I'm thinking. Yeah, let's pull up some for these basic lists. Let's pull up some interesting support ones like you guys picked, like maybe Aegis, Ink Blot, maybe even Tangling Grasp. Caustic Spray I like, 'cause it's a good basic one, kind of nasty style. Yeah, I mean to be fair, we could also go like, hey, you can pick. Maybe, yeah, probably do like, hey, pick two first level singularities and a second level singularity. And they can do each of those once. Sea Dog. Oh, God. Greg, don't. No, Craig. No, I did not. I did not mention Conan. I did mention Cthulhu, though. I'm sorry, guys. I'm bouncing back and forth trying to figure this out. So, Inkblot I like a lot. I also like Caustic Spray. So, I'm just going to put those notes. I know I said I'd build them out fully. I'm kind of just going to put them as notes right now because just have to figure out. Need to figure out what's slowing the computer down because it's a little bit hard to type right now. So, Inkblot, Caustic Spray. I'm going to say Aegis because I really like Aegis. Any other ones that we think? Put a little note, actually. For dev note, GM note. You can take two singularities from first level depot and one singularity from second level depot and create a unique cultist. I think that works. Yeah, I think we make these cultists kind of like level 2. Yeah, like level 2 cultists. Maybe put restrictions like certain ones can't do it, but like a higher level. Like, God, what do we do with that? Charging Beast is a good one. It does some good damage. What do they use? What if they use weapons made out of the void? Specifically, like, instead of like rift bolts, they actually are like forming handguns out of the void. Not to take away loot from the party, but try to think of some on-brand kind of weaponry for these guys. Void swords, yeah. Wonder if we could make, because we have the. I wonder if we should just make something like that. Lets you do the like rift bolts works really well, but I wonder if like a lower level thing. Void bullets. Void bullets. Bullets of the void. Ooh, interesting. We have talked about making some like teleportation ammunition for depot operatives down the road. That'd be a lot of fun. Okay. All right. So, boy, oh boy, there's a lot. Okay, man, I'm loving this because I'm enjoying reading the chat and like seeing what you guys come up with. I'm trying to think on this. All right, so with this character, let's get some quick notes down for this. I'm actually gonna I'm gonna take notes without you guys being able to see. Sorry, I'm gonna use my notepad so I can kind of get some ideas going on this. I'm gonna guess these guys generally are not well. They're not the most equipped for the basic cultist. So let's say some probably utilitarian clothes, maybe some light leathers. About them, I'd like top level cultists to have like a few coveted SGL shells. Maybe give them states of a gun, but flavor it as a void weapon that does special damage. Could, yeah. Oh, yeah, like it has a void. It's a void wrapped gun. Ooh, okay, Daniel. Side note, that sounds like a lot of fun. Of just like void wrapping guns like permanently. I don't know what that would entail. It just sounds kind of cool. But all right, let's do light leathers. So they're gonna have a 1-2 rating. They're gonna have a I'll even say they got padded. Just like, let's do padded. They're wearing probably just basic padding. Padded vest and pants. Pants, 1 rating. They got a 3 dex max. They got a 4 wisdom max. Alright, so we have some clearly interesting. Let's definitely mix them around with so probably some handguns. So weaponry. So we have handguns, some basic handguns. I do like the sword. Now, is it sword or knife? Do we go with like We'll do sword for now. We'll put sword for now, yeah. I do wonder about that. Maybe, okay, so gun, so some kind of handgun. A handgun and some kind of void ability on it. / bullets. Ooh, kukri. Kukri does sound, hand axe or kukri. Okay, yeah, we'll use hand axe for that, because hand axe would just be a good kukri. Flamethrower. Void flamethrower. A void thrower. What would a void thrower... Daniel, void thrower. What would that be? Does it just, like, do what the dragon's breath does, where it teleports them randomly? That'd be terrifying. Alright, so let's use the... What was that? An axe. Yeah. Void thrower. We'll use handguns and axe. Axe is a kukri. Make it a kukri, because I do like that idea. It's very aesthetically pleasing. Slowly uploads you to avoid a fractured companion. Person tamed by a specific type of cultist. Acts as a trained animal combatant. Follows commands. Options inflicts you with a random elemental effect. Ooh. Guys, I'm going to have to save the entire chat, the entire chat log, because I'm not going to be able to write all these ideas down, but I love them all. So in case I forget, please remind me. Okay, we'll do an axe kukri, which will be the 6, 13, 21, 30, 40 damage. Okay. Handgun, which a basic handgun will be... I'm thinking, do we give him a pocket pistol or like a auto pistol or a heavy pistol? Like, what do they seem like to you guys? Teleports parts of you to a random location. Oh my god, yeah. That's terrifying. Yeah, okay. So, maybe give him like some auto pistols, because those are kind of easy to hide. I think I'll do auto pistol for that. Yeah, do an auto pistol. Why not? Handgun, we'll do the 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, It's got a 35-yard range. Okay. What's their goal? Their goal is to summon. From what I tell, their goal is to summon the largest fractured beast ever. So they. Asshole just all over. Oh god. Ooh, weird. That sounds like a cool depot ability. Actually, being able to like teleport half like your arm somewhere, but it still acts like it's normal. Oh god. Oh god. We could if we do. Oh yeah, we could. I mean, we could give him a syringe. Give him some foldable crossbows. Blowgun. I mean, that's fair. We could do straight blowgun. Blowgun or dart gun? Which one do we want to do? I like either one. Blowgun does kind of fit with the I'm a cult. Dart gun, though, I also feel like it's a very sci-fi way of doing it too. But I'm fine with either one, honestly. Also, I need to add dart gun to this. I don't know why I don't have it there already. Granted, I want to redo equipment. I already put equipment's out already, and I already want to redo how I did it. Daniel, you have not got. Daniel, fair warning: when you start reading through the wrist-mounted needle launcher, well, you sold me on that. Sold me on that one. Yep, that's it. Especially when they like become unrigged or whatever it is, and they actually like their computer can be on their arm. It's just a part of it. Oh god, that's terrifying. But anyway, back on. Sorry, Daniel. I apologize when you look at the crafting section because I think I basically figured out how to make our two ideas kind of work together that we had forever ago about how to make like a full catalog, but also not overwhelm things, but I'll still give a whole bunch of things. Sorry. Anyway, good luck reading that later. It's a lot of words in there. Hoping they all made sense. All right, so we have a kukri / axe. Can use the axe weapon. One with their cyborgs that are connected. Oh god. One with their cyborgs that are connected to the mother rig. The way you can double as assassins who are trying to convert world leaders their point of view by secretly getting to places and subtly shooting those leaders with so they experience the void. Oh my god, guys. We're making a terrorist cult now. Like, I mean, granted. Anyway. Wow. Okay. So, this is going to be interesting. All right. We're going to make a bunch of depot stuff by proxy. You all know that, right? This is going to make, like, a lot of good depot stuff, and I'm really excited about this. So, like, for example, what Weird Mole was saying is a depot ability where you can actually, like, cut, like, basically teleport your arm so it's over a ways. But I feel like you do it, and it's still, like, you made two smaller portals, so you could, well, for the D&D players, you could mage hand your arm over there. Oh god. Okay. So, all right. This is going to be interesting. For high level guys, kukris. What do we have it do? Do we have it? We could. Right now, I don't want to randomize it. I don't want to I don't want to have more dice rolling than we need. How sharp are the edges of these portals? Generally, they're not. However, if you're saying, can we make a portal turn into a blade? I don't see why not. We do have a void blade. That would be interesting. That would be... See, that's how you make a deep... That's how you find out a depot operative is mad, where they open a portal that just cuts your airship in half. Are we doing portal buzzsaws? I don't know, Daniel. Are we doing portal buzzsaws? You tell me. Portal guilt... Listen, okay, we have to be careful of this, because this is when we're not going to get into this whole, why can't I just shove someone in the void and kill them thing. We're not doing that. We can turn it into singularities that look like it, and the narrator can flavor how you want, but we're not doing the whole, I just got to put them in my void and they die, because I'm not playing that game. But a port, yeah. I definitely can see like some merit into making some blade singularities with portals. Or this might just be an aesthetic thing for your unrigged. What if you can like put your rig into items? I don't think so either. I think they don't. I think they won't have teleportation. I think they're going to be more focused on fractured beasts. So they might not even have like lab stuff. They might be purely fractured beast based. I think that works really well with them, and it gives it so that, for example, a narrator could make one that is all about different things like that. Like you might wind up. See, I think that's why I do like this idea, because then you could like divide them up where they could be. There's 3 different cults now, where one focuses on fractured beasts, one's all about the creation of void items, and one's all about just like weather control and things like that. But my brain just stops. Like teleportation is not one of them. But yeah, I don't think I'm gonna give them teleportation abilities. Like maybe the highest level ones might, but even then, I'm not sure I want to do that. I think it's more fractured. But well, actually, wait. I'm taking that back slightly. Not necessarily that I take away teleportation like Depot. Some that are infected or affected by the drugs might have void teleportation, like what the fractured beasts have. Does that make sense? Our psychic damage should be trauma damage, so yeah, that could work very easily. Well, so we have trauma, and then we also do have unsoakable, which unsoakable is a terrifying amount of damage. Wrist-mounted needle launchers. So, oh yeah, sorry you weren't here for that word, Mole. Well, here, let me pop over to the sheet so I can make sure I go over everything correctly. So basically, this group, the Siblings of the Void, Cult of the Void, whatever, we're kind of figuring this out. Their goal is to bring forth more fractured beasts and potentially void children as well. They started with, let's see, where was it? The potential leaders, or leader we had, is one of the people that actually woke up from the coma of making a fractured beast void child. They went rogue and learned about the rumors and researched things like that. So then they saw the void and kind of went crazy and decided to build this following, and they're attempting to build this giant rig, like a city rig underneath the Pentagon in what was once DC. And they're using like computers from Pentagon to make this just massive rig. I'd say it's more because they want to bring forth the largest fractured beasts because it's their god. They want to make their own god. Or, like I said, that kind of person just went crazy, so they just think it's the right thing to do. Classic cult stuff. They think that they're right. So, F anyone else that gets in their way. Uncontrolled blinking. Opposite. They move in the opposite direction of where they intended. That's pretty funny, actually. That sounds like a good breaker ability too when dealing with Depot, where they actually like hit them and make a messed up teleportation thing. Or, or they're being controlled by a void child who's trying to turn the whole world into void. I gotta add that now. Let me add that to potential leaders. Hang on. Yep, potential void child. That's always fun. I say always like we've done that before, but I'm just saying it's fun. It's Seth's evil twin. That's what happens when Seth goes off to after the settlement. Seth goes off and just says future plans. Aha! Don't avoid the void. Don't avoid the void. Can you avoid the void? Oh god, that sentence sounds dirty in your mouth for some reason. It sounds weird saying that. Yes, it has. I'm glad you're on the same page as this. Yeah, actually, they kidnap people potentially off the street and force them to create fractured beasts so that they don't like destroy their own cultists. Sorry, it looks like a car just pulled into my driveway. Seeing why. That was a bunch of wow. Everyone is driving like a maniac on my street. Uh, no, no worries, man. It's good. It's good to review stuff. Um, if I will say, I mean, to be fair, if anyone actually had, like I said, if anyone's a Patreon, which Daniel, remind me if I'm wrong, is it $1 you can see the brainstorms? Is that right? Or Greg, if you know this, or Burning, because I believe you both are Patreon patrons. Um, so yeah, let me know what that is. Yeah, so our okay, the car's going away. Yeah, so yeah, if for some reason anyone wants to, wants to go and check out the brainstorm as I'm working on stuff, $1 you can do it. Technically, if you really want to just comment and develop in the middle of the talk with me, I think it's our $20 one. Yeah, so $1 you get to look at all the brainstorms we're working on. $5 you can enjoy the spiel. $5 you get the monthly adventure. You also get the PDF. $5 gives us more money, and there is our third tier, which is our $20 tier, which gets you Daniel. What does our $20 tier get you besides access to commenting on all of our docs? I know it lets you comment on the docs, which means you can actually put any comments or like things you want to do on that. Does it also? Do we still send the book to people when it gets printed off? The playtest books, I thought. And of course, our undying gratitude, the fact that you want to give us $20, giving us more money. I love you, Daniel. Thank you so much. Anyway, so yes, ooh, I say a lot. That is such a moment. I keep realizing that. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So to recap, $1 you can see the docs, which is awesome. You can message us on Discord, talk to us, all that. I can't stop it now. $5 you get the adventure every month. You get the PDF access. $20 is softcover book, T-shirt, and you get to comment on our brainstorms and docs. So yeah, yep, Weird Mole, you got it exactly. So in case you want to come see what we're working on, or what I'm working on now, if you go to the brainstorm introduction, I believe it's on there. If it's not, I'm sorry. I'll make sure it gets up there. But it's the Adversary's Guide Introduction is the doc I'm working on right now, just kind of playing around. So, that said, we have our drugs, we have our Cultists of the Void. All right, so, you know what? Let's go ahead and build the Cultists up. Let's actually build them up. So, we have Cultists of the Void. Let's make, how many should a level 1 party, how many cultists should be able to give a level 1 party a good, solid challenge? I'm thinking 8. We could go to 4. I think they need more than 2. Like these are the basic grunts. These are the guys that will eventually 3. I don't have a third as an option, Max, but thanks. Punk ass. Although a fourth isn't a bad idea. And people can kind of, you bunch of, you bunch of, you, I know where 2 of you live, don't forget. I think I remember where 2 of you live. Pi, yes, infinite numbers. It takes infinite members. I miss you, word craftian. At some point I'll run you a horror Retroscape game. Horror Retroscape. Your ums aren't too bad. I'm not reading 357, and that's fair. I do not read people's comments very well because I read them to myself because sometimes my brain skips ahead. So, finish that one off. Let's build our Cultists of the Void. I'm going to leave them for now at the 18 hit points and 12 wound threshold. And you guys will actually get to see what we... You don't have to read those. Well, you tell me that, but then I have to read all the comments, apparently. Why can't there be a void shield bubble? Somewhat that it can absorb damage up to a certain amount of damage. I mean, I don't see why there can't be. That sounds like a fun depot ability that we could also use here. Right now, I think the reason there isn't something like that is because we had something like that, and it was very overpowered, but there might be a void wrap ability now that does something like that. Let me double check as I'm talking about it. Did we get rid of the dental attack, flaming weapon to do void wraps? I think we might have gotten rid of the defense ability. It's more than half your HP. That's fair. The big reason for that is because... Yeah, actually, Brennan, there's a reason. So Brennan asked, it feels weird that a wound threshold is more than half your HP is the reason why. As for why, at least for kind of low-level creatures like this, it was because... I'm trying to figure out why exactly how to explain that. I built it kind of where... I guess I don't have a perfect explanation. The main idea was that if for some reason you're fighting a civilian, the idea, if you're gonna hit them twice, they're probably gonna go down no matter what. This way, it could be like you hit them and they get wounded, and you could kind of play it off as you can stop them. Like maybe they'll give up suddenly. Damage that can be dealt. Yes. The wound threshold is more based on the amount of damage that can be dealt. So, with a civilian, which is what this originally was, a wound threshold of 12 means, generally, it means you got stabbed by a knife with 2 successes. I could actually lower it to probably 10 or even 11, and it would be it'd be like getting a really solid haymaker in with a punch, which I might do. The main idea for a lot of the the things that can think when they're lower level like this was their wound threshold was lower, so they could maybe try and connive their way out of it. Civilians if a civilian's in a fight, the civilian's going to lose. That's just the matter of fact. There's not much they can do. It was also so that way if 2 civilians are getting in a punching fight, they're not going to immediately kill each other or wound each other right off the bat. Kind of in that action hero, the civilians always still kind of survive way. But I do see the merit in maybe lowering it to 10. That way, if you have 2 civilians fight, if one of them gets 2 successes, they will wound the other person. However, that will then immediately make it so that the other person can't wound them, if that makes sense. I think that makes sense. Because they'll be at disadvantage. So I think that's the main reason why I did it. I'm sure there's somewhere there's actually like an explanation what I did. I think the biggest reason was just to make it so that if for some reason they get wounded, they're not dead, but they're basically so hurt they might as well be, so they can give up. So yeah, it may change. Quick, don't think of the white elephant. Ha, you lost. Boom, fractured chicken. Fractured chicken. Fractured chicken sounds fun. It's probably like a little bit flaky. If people read the description, they'll understand that joke. I'm funny, haha. So, we have our guy now. That's the same. We're going to give him a armor rating of 1. Do we leave their wisdom at 2? And raise intelligence, or do we just leave them as average citizens for cultists? We could lower their social, maybe, and raise their intelligence. We could even just leave it straight as that. Fractured goose. The fractured goose is just a nuisance to all creation. I'll leave it like that for now. If we change it, we'll change it. I'm sure we will. I feel as though I should probably give them some skill. Maybe just straight up a computer skill. Does that make sense? These people are drug addicts. No. See, that's why I don't know. So I don't know if all of the cult is, but maybe they are. Do all of the cult? So I guess that's the question for you. Does the entire cult have to take the drug to do what they do, or are only some of them doing it? Is it just those who can't figure out how to use the computers, things like that? Don't worry, they're not going to have this much skills. I just copied it over from one of my other NPCs we have set up. Computers. We're going to put that there, like that. Okay, that's what. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Say some. Oh wait, sorry. I realize I'm reading what this says. Uh, the depot regs just be druggies. So okay, to read off what's been said, I feel like lower levels, meaning that the lower level characters are drug addicts. Only those who can't use the computers was from Max would be drug addicts. Some of them from Veronica, make it varied. Do the computers interact with the drugs in unique ways from Wordcraftian? I kind of like the idea of them interacting in weird ways. Daniel, in my opinion, I don't really want them to have the depot rigs and to just be druggies. So we could do that as well. If we do that, so if we're doing that, does that mean that the rig is just... So would the rigs only be in the city then? Like the big giant rigs, they're just putting all the rigs there that they find or the technology they get? Weird Mold, this is actually an interesting concept for a drug. Maybe moving the wound threshold closer up to HP makes for a creature that goes on like an Energizer rabbit till they are wounded, then they drop. That is, we have some creatures kind of like that. Yeah, actually, that get weird, like their wounds affect them greatly. I want to make some more, like I have an idea for a creature, a robot's the wrong word, but it's a robot that's powered by an actual living creature. The living creature is just made of energy. It's just stuck inside. So when you wound it, the shell actually opens up and the creature that's energy actually gets out. And suddenly it goes from being this giant bruiser in an iron mech to being this really fast, just ball of radiation almost. At least that's kind of the idea for that. So if we make them druggies, make them... You know what? I'm gonna make two. I'm gonna make two kinds. I'm gonna make two kinds of cultists right now, low level cultists. I'm gonna make the drug affected ones, and I'm going to make the smarter ones, I think, because I like both. And here's my kind of thought process behind that. I like the idea of someone looking like they're a depot operative, and you maybe even not realizing they're not a depot operative. Their singularities are just off. Like they look even more sick and alien than normal. Then when you kind of realize that their rig is kind of just a pieced together computer that looks like it's barely able to run things and can actually supercharge the drug side of it more, I think that might be fun. Rig satellites. These amplify the power of void rigs while within the Pentagon. These can be disabled by the party to lessen the effectiveness of their adversaries. Max out there already writing some adventures for this. Hell yeah. Oh yeah, this would be a full-blown saga, I feel like, trying to invade the fractured city, because I'm not going to say invade the building that it is, because that's just how I get... Yeah, no. So invading the fractured city to dismantle, destroy it, taking out the rig satellites, like slowly taking out more and more of them, and creating this void little pockets to weaken them. That's a good idea. So, all right, let me make two things. Let me make two of these guys. If we're gonna do that, let's what do we call the kind of messed up ones? They're gonna be more ghoul-like, I feel like. Closer to ghouls than anything else. So they might even just be weakened. We might just weaken them a bit. Or do we keep them? No, we'll keep them like that for now. They will probably go down in that. Probably down in that. Do we lower their wisdom as well, is the question. Oh, yeah, totally. Weird mold. The fractured beasts and void children can get loose and totally turn on their creators. Will they? Not immediately, but if you destroy whatever's controlling them, which is why I kind of want them to have rigs of some kind. Void power lines hung like real power lines. These can be used for speed travel around the void city by fractured beasts and fracturedlings. Max, I'm getting upset because I've been with Max too long. Apparently, I've been around Max too long because they keep saying things that I write down, but they explain them much better, which I love. But it's also creepy and annoying. It's not annoying. It's creepy. It's weird. Max is my fractured beast. That's what it is. They are my fractured goblin. They just know what's always happening. Doodly doo 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 doo. Singing my songs in my head. Alright, the drug guys. We are one. No. We are united. Isn't that a commercial? So, if we'll do the burned? What's a good term for void cultists that have been burned out from the drugs? Voided? Oh yeah, Buzz Lightyear. Would voided be a good name? Or fractured? The fractured? Something like that. Or fractions. They're the fractions. They're the imaginaries. They're what happens if you divide by I, square root of I. Voided warranty. Daniel. No, I know, Max. Siblings of the Void's not gonna have that, but I want something that's what's a term for those who get burned out? Ah, God. So in today's ecological. What's the word for outside? It's the fancy word for outside. In today's Jake's window, there is now a giant spider that has caught a moth. It's fascinating and terrifying. We should really make spider monsters. The phased. Ooh, Greg coming in with an interesting one. I do like the imaginaries as well, Weird Mole. That is all pretty good. Ooh, both those are really good. I feel like I can use both in different ways. I'm trying to figure out how I want to use each one. Because the phased could theoretically use them for fractured beasts. This thing could maybe use them for some facet stuff even, or something else like that too. Imaginaries I feel like could go here as well, or go into like the nightmares. So that sounds kind of fun. Divided by square -1. That's what it was. Divided. The obtuse, the cute, the parallelograms, the pies, the radii. Love it, Daniel. Have fun with whatever you're doing. I'm sure you're working right now. Be good. The radials, the pie, we'll figure it out. So we're gonna make them probably be some kind of the splintered. Ooh, the splintered. The drugged cultists. Yeah, these are the drugged up cultists. So these are the ones that got burnt out. They either were true believers and they got burned out on the drugs because they couldn't do the computer side of it, or these are those who got drugged up and then just kind of followed along because it's all they had. The quadratics, the apple pie, the rhubarb pie, the raspberry pie. All right, weird mole. This isn't a, we're not no. Deadheads. Deadheads does fit, but Deadheads also works with a lot of things too. That's why I'm splintered. Ooh, we got a lot of good names. I'll figure it out later. But for now, I'm just gonna put Cultists of the Void, the drug ones, drugged, sure. We'll figure out. Actually, oh, that is a good. You know what? I'll put that for now. Splintered. Yeah, you know what? That's a good point. Splintered it is. So here's my question for that. I was talking about that. Do they have any bonuses to existing? That sounds weird to say, but what makes them more powerful than a regular civilian? Or are they weaker than a regular civilian? I feel as though there has to be some reason why then that you have to become Master Splintered. So I wonder, should we lower their wound thresholds and maybe their hit points even from regular civilians? If we do that, do we make them faster or stronger? Do we lower their intelligence, social wisdom? Do we up their combat for some reason? The uncontrolled blinking. I think we give them some kind of void powers for sure. Maybe they are just infected by the void to a degree, so they're almost like being void. They'd almost be voidlings or the voidlings. Because actually you used fracture. I think fracturedlings is what was on there, and voidlings are the other version that's in the monster dock right now. But their attacks do trauma damage because they're just bleeding off void as they're attacking. These would kind of be like as close to fractured ghouls as we probably would get, more or less. That's said. You know what? We'll raise their hit points because hit points are your hit points. They can represent anything from being your stamina to your strength to whatever. No wound threshold. Interesting. Ooh. Interesting. Can the god entity they want to create someone be the fractal? See, the fractal, the only problem is that gets really close to facet and with light stuff, but maybe. I do like that a lot. I kind of like the idea of just the void. Like it just takes an embodiment of the void itself. So let's raise these guys up. Let's say we'll make them... I'll make them 21. So a good solid... If you get 3 successes on a sword, you can take them out. Good job. Good for you. No wound threshold is interesting. What's the chat thinking on that? No wound threshold for these guys? Guys, gals, or anywhere in between, and however you choose to identify, of course. These pals, that's what we'll use, these pals. Listen here, pal. These buddies. I've been watching Letterkenny, so now I keep hearing buddy in my head, or bud. Which apparently mean 2 different things. Buddy is a good thing, bud is a bad thing. Just give him a 21 wound threshold as well. Oh, God. 21 wound threshold. Congrats, you killed them, they die. Either no wound threshold or almost equal to HP. Ooh. Okay, so here's what we do. If it's no wound threshold, it means they're more void than people at that point. If we're doing trauma, we'd have to reduce it. You're right. Well, to be fair, they're also meant to be stronger than civilians. So, and their defense is not going to be high. Their defense is going to be pretty low. You know what? I'll do an 18. We'll put 18 here for now. I think they don't know how to deflect. I think that's what we go with. I think we do no deflection because they have no reason to think about it. Yeah. Well, 40. To be fair, if we're doing 40 HP, we'd have to raise their par up quite a bit. Because right now they're at 1/8. And for reference, like we have a ruiner. A ruiner is a 4th and it has 36. Influence the high one if it's. Ooh, that's a good idea. I like that a lot. If they're under the influence of the drug, they have a high wound threshold. If it's gone, then it disappears. That's interesting. Be a good way to make a couple versions of them too. Hype them up. So with that said, let me also pull up our Fractured Beast. Higher HP. These are the kind of basic guys. They got a bit of a pump up from it because again, HP doesn't have to be like. It's not so much the HP is the one thing because it's not health points, it's hit points, which sounds weird that there's a difference, but I feel there's a difference of health points are literally this is your measurement of how much health you have. Hit points are the measurement of this is how much stamina you have. This is how long you can take hits. That's kind of where why I like that difference is someone that's hopped up and pumped up on this fractured ichor it'd be a lot like someone that's on meth where they're just going. So let's do that. Let me pull up my fractured. So I'm going to have these guys over here as well. Good. So we have unarmed. Should we give these guys kukris? Should they have any weapons besides just general voidiness? And do they have any void ability? Do we want to give them anything like a Rift Bolt like ability, or they can deal trauma damage with their unarmed attacks? I think I'll do trauma for them. Yeah. Something like that. For now. We'll say yeah, for now. May change that later. May even lower their wisdom. I mean, we could even lower their wisdom, to be fair. Ooh, if we do that... More brutish than spelly, but that's my opinion. Basically, dude, they should have like a basic void ability, but they have to use real weapons. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Some basic real weapons. I think I'm actually gonna like straight up just like I'm going to lower their mental and social skills or abilities because they just would not have a high one. I feel like with this drug, at least from what the chat's kind of like explained what this drug does. I agree with you guys. I think they are meant to just like hit things. So let's give. You know what? We'll say we'll give them an axe. We'll give them the basic axe. Why not? So if we give them the kukri, they should have a physical void ability. What is a random minor? All right, so we got a random minor void ability feels very old school and gives them variability, but it may be unnecessary, hard to track. Yeah, it might be something we can do. Oh, hi. What's up, Curly Fries? How you doing? They should have a physical void ability. Physical void ability. What do we do with a physical void ability? Can they... Maybe they can store their items away? Could be a thing for that. Might have them a little thing for that. We'll give them their kukri, though. So it won't do... This one won't do trauma damage. But it will do some, significant damage. I'm assuming we don't want to give them combat, right? They probably shouldn't have combat. Or should they? I guess that's a good question. Do we let them have combat because they're like, just, yeah. You're not looting my myth. Yeah, ooh, that's a good... So, chat, how do you feel? Do we give him a combat of 1? It doesn't change a lot. It does just give him a d20 to roll. To breathe, eat, drink something like that from the fractured beast stuff. Only punches, since they're mostly void. No combat. Okay, I see no combat as a vote. So will they not? Should they not use weapons either? Ooh, this is the tough one. All right, I see the lines being drawn on there. I see. There's merit in both is the thing, but fractured beast. Let's look at our fractured beast we got. Ooh, that is a good point. That is a good point. Bit more wild. Combat, but only in certain lighting conditions. Interesting. Well, see, combat could also it doesn't have to be just skill and a weapon. It could be just ferocity. That's what I'm looking at. As someone who's had to deal with people in the past on things before, whether they know martial arts or not, they can swing like a boxer. Haymakers, man, they'll hurt. That is a tough one. Okay, so we won't give him any gun abilities, but maybe do we give them the teleport ability that some fractured beasts have? Not being able to teleport themselves, but being able to teleport escape, the void escape, where they can disappear up to a certain distance, like kind of away, but it disorients them. How does that sound? That feels very like I'm trying to think what was that? Just like oiled up meth head, just like running around like someone like they try and grab him and it just like boop, blinks away, but then comes right back at you. Maybe. Weaker short teleport. I do like the idea of them being. I don't want to give them too much yet with like being able to hide and stuff. I think the fractured lings could definitely use some of that. I think the splintered, at least for the, so I think I want to divide this up a little more. The splintered, the Cult of the Void splintered, who are the individuals that are, they joined the cult or willingly or unwillingly, got the drugs in them because they couldn't use the computer, and then just became these splintered drug addicts that just kind of follow along so they can keep getting their drugs. So if we do that, I think these are beginner ones, so their abilities won't be super crazy. So a beginner one, I think a weak teleport works well. I think a higher level one, we definitely add something like that darkness ability. Though the only thing I worry about is for doing the darkness, because I don't necessarily know if I want to connect the void to the darkness entirely. Where I'm trying to think what I'm going to do with it. We have some creatures that play with shadows, but we could add a little bit to it, like use bits and pieces. So if we give them the void escape ability, we'll make it very weak. Like, what do you think? We use Voidling. Okay, here's Voidling. There we go. Got my Voidling, which is from our monster in the Fractured Beasts. I think we do this. Pop that there. Reactions Void Escape. Win the cultist. Cultist can teleport up to. Let's do we do 10 or do we do 5? Random direction. Oh god, I don't. I'll put a note. That we could do something like that. That would be interesting. 5's kind of what I was thinking too. I put 10 there for now just because, well, that's what their speed is, but cannot take the move maneuver on its next turn. I'll say I'll make him disoriented. The cultist is disoriented on its next turn. Is disoriented on its next turn. A disoriented character can take an action or maneuver on their turn, but not both. Okay. I think that works well for them. Yeah, that's a good. Oof. To be fair, again, they are par 1/8. So 8 of these things is what people would have to deal with. So that's why, yeah, I think I'm gonna leave their combat. Yeah, that's why I'm gonna leave their combat low for now. I almost am debating just lowering their hit points because of that too, because they are 8 of. You know what, guys? Here's how we test this. You can see the magic of something that Daniel made. I believe this is it. Let me make sure this is the right one. We have a generator. We have a worksheet, Encounters worksheet, actually, that we kind of use for developing. Not kind of. We just use it for developing stuff. The thing that we do with it, okay. Max, I do want to use that one with the darkness, though, probably for a higher level splintered creature or fractured beast, because that sounds like a terrifying assassin fractured beast. Oh, nope, this is the... that's the wrong one. That's the Encounters worksheet. So I need the odds generator, which I believe is this one. Yes. So Daniel made a generator that we actually... This was made for Volcanic Legends, I think, which is our fantasy one, which I have this awesome little art piece thing about, which I love. Anyway, that was the first published book I ever wrote, I believe. I believe that was my first ever published piece. So yes, here is our little dough. It's not going to show as easily. That's okay. So you can see it on the side, but we have our numbers. Is there a way I can move this over? Let's see. Do I have a... No. Did not expect this to show in that way. All right. That's fine. You guys can kind of see what it looks like. I'll move it over a little bit. 1 second, and I will move this over just a little bit. Doodly-doo-doo. So you guys can a little bit better see it. Yep, so don't know how far this needs to go. How far does this need to go? Alright, so turn that off for a second. Alright, now you can see this. So this is our odds calculator. We have the D12s that you use. So if you have a brought on a 5, we put in 5 here. Let's do, for level 1 characters, we'll say you have 3. At most, you should have 3. I believe. I don't think there's a way to get above 3 right now. I hope not. Target number is, we don't have any skills for this, but if we did, we'd put that there, which will get calculated into it. Our target number for these guys are 5, because that's their defense. Number of successes is just 1. We can then also change how much damage is being dealt. Let's use a sword as a we'll use a great sword as a basic one. That's a pretty high damaging dealing thing. That way we know exactly how much someone that's deciding to be a full-on damage dealer can do to these things. The enemy's hit points right now are 21, and their rune threshold is 18. So let's find out how likely you are to how soon you kill these things. Give it a second to calculate, and then you'll see right down here it'll actually say enemy dies after 4 attacks. I believe that's the right one. Let's make sure that's actually correct. That's definitely wrong. That's too low level. 7 attacks. Uh-oh. That doesn't sound right. I think we might have to change this later. Double checking. 58% chance of failure. Alright, well anyway, that's kind of the areas. I'll have to play with that later and fix it, I guess. Or Daniel will fix it. I won't be able to fix it because I don't know how that thing works. Because Daniel is the mastermind who made it. But yeah, it's definitely wrong because I know that's not right. Which is fine. We'll fix that later. So, back to this. We have our splinter, we're going to do 21. I might even lower it just because it is 1/8, but I'll leave it there for now. They have their teleportability. Easy enough. Random direction. I do like it. I'm trying to figure out how we're gonna do. Like, we could do it like roll a d12. They move 5 spaces to up. Yeah. Could do that. I'm trying to think on the map. Sorry, I'm picturing a map right now. You can do straight lines. Theoretically, you could also do up to 8, though 12 doesn't divide by 8 easily. So I would say we could make a note that says the narrator can choose or a random space. That could work. I mean, everyone loves D12s. First off, they don't get enough love. Yeah, no, Weird Mole's right. It would be a nightmare to track that many. For a larger, yeah. So, I think that might be something I can like throw in, like the narrative, like, hey, if you want to play with this, like, do it once in a while. Maybe if there's just one of them left, or there's just one, and you're like trying to catch them, they're teleporting around like crazy. Could be something to play with. With that, okay, I think that character's pretty good. That little NPC, that little adversary. That's the word I was trying to think of. So, that one's good. If we use this as our baseline. So should we make a more powerful splintered? Should we make a actual cultist that has a rig and can do singularities? Or do you guys want to build some fractured beasts? I'll do this for another like half hour or so, we'll say. We'll get at least 1 or 2 more monsters made up before I finish up, just because it is Friday. I know people want to go relax and enjoy their weekends as best you can, because remember, Backstreet Boys tour, please be safe, everyone. If we're doing creatures that matter, I love the concept of strong but flawed abilities. Yes. No, yeah, these are basic guys. So, you know what? We'll say this. We can either make a stronger cultist or we could make a new fractured beast. One of the things that I have kind of kicking around, if anyone goes to the live doc and the fractured beast, you can see that we have the fractured abomination, which is kind of just meant to be the weird whatever I wanted to put in there would be there. That said, we could make a new creature. We could do some. Is there an animal? We can do, yeah. So we can do stronger cultist. We could do a fractured beast. Let's play around both. Let's try and get both done. Let's try and pump through these. We'll make a D12 skill table for stronger cultists. D12 skill table. Also, we'll make a D12 skill table for the stronger cultists. You mean like you roll a D12 and it determines if that cultist has a certain skill? Just don't worry. I'll just make it and text it to you. Max, go right ahead. I'll go right ahead. Anyone that makes a creation is welcome to message us. Put it in the Discord. It will, if we like it a lot and it can fit well, we'll probably figure it out. Okay, interesting. I like that. That's pretty fun. Okay, so let's make a stronger cultist. Let's make a. What par do we want to do? Give me a par. We anywhere from the 1/8 to, I'll say let's do like a 4th par for this character, because anything beyond that's going to be terrifying for a single being. Let's see what numbers we got. We can do, I'll say 1 through 4 right now. 2. Greg's got a 2. You know what? 2 ain't bad. 2 ain't bad. We can make some fun things with that. Let's do a 2. Greg, I saw yours first, so we're going with that one. Congratulations. Now, what on earth is a cultist of the void, or siblings of the fractured, going to do? Brendan, no, it's not safe. Don't call people that. You never know. Someone might get mad. That's an inside joke for someone in this chat. Don't worry. Anyway, a lot of people, when you're tired and you hear weird things yelled at people, roll 2d12s. They get those abilities from the table. I do like that. That's actually, that might be fun to do. So, I know Daniel told me to read comments. I'm not reading that comment, Brendan. I love you, but I'm not reading it. I'm sorry. Anyone that wants to know what it is, if you're watching this on audio, you're welcome to come find us. It's what mark are we at? We're at the, oh god, where are we? I don't know. It's 3:38 and we started at 1:30, so 2 hours and 20 minutes actually, roughly around there. You'll find it. 2 Max, be quiet. Yes, I'll be a coward. I don't care. So, Fractured Beast, or a Cultist of the Void. We're doing a Cultist of the Void. This one's going to be part 2. Let's give them some decent hit points. They probably need it. It's not going to be crazy, but good enough. Max is a bad influence. Don't trust them, Brendan. Trust me. Don't trust them. And when Veronica backs them up, don't trust them either. Let's do a random 142. Why not? Let's give them some decent. Let's see what a depot operative has at. This would be roughly a higher level. Cowards hate to stay home. What? Cowards. Oh, cowards stay home and snuggle with the heroes' wives. Get to stay home. How about instead of more hit points, give them strong void-based soak? They're all in leagues against you, Jake. Oh, I know, Weird Bolt. They are all against me. The problem is I've met most of these people now. Either at conventions or through my life, and because they're friends that now play games with me. So, instead of high base soak. So, the thing I worry about soak, because I do like that, is it's a weird thing where you trade it off of trying to decide if it's better to have more hit points or a higher soak. And what's weird is, for some reason, when something has a high soak versus high hit points, the combat takes slightly longer. Curtis, no. But pork shoulder tastes so good. Aw, Curtis is gonna make me sad. That's okay. So yeah, if we... I don't know why. For some reason, high soak, though, like, it slows it down for some reason. It takes longer to take someone down with high soak. I think because if you have a high soak... Actually, I don't know why. Sometimes you're going to have damage... You're not going to have damage in characters that are meant for damage. Then I still support you, Jake, until Squitch dies. Then I riot and leave. Well, you should have done that, like, 3 years ago when I started working here and Squitch was dead then. Yeah. You don't eat my food. Curtis, it was Thanksgiving. I had had 5 meals already. I'm sorry. And then the only other time you've cooked for me, I wasn't feeling good. I ate the potatoes. They were delicious and amazing. And I'm sorry. And right now the Backstreet Boys tour is going on, so I can't eat around you anyway. So yeah. They'd void annoying, yeah. So, yeah, sorry, back to my brain just so I finish it. Higher soak means a low level character, like Constance, for example, isn't a high dealing damage character. But if Constance fires at someone and they don't have a high soak, she's still at least taking chunks off of them bit by bit. Whereas if I have a high soak, only the highest damage dealers will be able to do anything. I don't want to play this game with the chat, guys. I've eaten everyone's food that is cooked for me in some way. And to be fair, Veronica made tacos and I hadn't eaten yet. But again, I had like 2 tacos. And Curtis, your food's delicious and I love you. This is why I have to be careful when I eat food around people too. So I'm like, oh man, I'm kind of full. So back to what I was doing. Yes. So we can also, though, give him a high defense. That's one way to counteract it, Brennan, with making it still lower HP but higher defense can keep the pace at the right level for some reason, but not make it so it's too insane. And 122 is actually not too, or 142 isn't too bad for a par 2, we'll say. I wanted to see what a depot operative had at this, because I do not remember what their table says. There's a table. Yeah, like depot operatives don't get until, like, the highest they get is technically 83. But, you know, monsters are going to have higher hit points. Oh god, I can't, that's so hard to say. Backstreet Boys. Weird Mole's gonna make me have a stroke trying to pronounce Backstreet Boys, but with Z's. That's the name. It's spelled back with a Z, Backstreet Boys with Z's on it, but it's literally, the band is called Backstreet Boys with a Z. That'll just be the name. But you have to pronounce it. It's like a Prince's symbol, but it was like the artist formerly known as Prince, but it had the symbol and that's what it meant. So, I don't know. Alright, let's give them a combat of 1. I'm sorry, as I'm thinking about all the things now, like how to pronounce Backstreet Boys with Z's. The English language is not meant for this kind of thing. That is true. It is a weird thing. And I hope they're okay with it. And if they're not, I'm sorry, Backstreet Boys. But it's easier to say that, because if we say other words related to it, it causes problems. The only ones that I know we can say is like global crisis. But that could mean anything. Because the world is the world. Wind Threshold. Let's give them a... I'm going to give them an okay Wind Threshold, I think. Related to NSYNC. Sure, yeah, NSYNC. It's NSYNC too. Let's give them 28 for now. It's not super high, but we'll put it there for now. We are going to give them some better armor. You know what? Give them 2s. Oh god. Here we just call it the plague. See, that's fair. That's fair, Weird Mole. That makes sense. You can pay Retroscape to stop. I will. First off, if the Backstreet Boys contacted us and were like, "Hey, can you not do that?" I'd be like, "Yeah, cool, but can like you guys come play Retroscape?" I'd love that. We'd still stop doing it, but I'd still love them to come play Retroscape with us. We all took time off for the tour to show respect and fear, and that's all. Man, are you breathing this air? The world is the world, yo. No other reason. There's a Brennan. Brennan. Brennan, what have you been doing the last 5 months? 4 months? March, April, May, June, July, August. 6 months? 6 months. So I'm just gonna make a fractured plague now. It just like they're just gonna gas the drug, like make the drug a gas and just send it out like a plague. Fractured locusts. They weaponize the fractured swarm and turn them into locusts. Ah, yes, of course. Yeah. See, that's if they stop touring, then we'd be fine. You're right. God, I'm too enamored with our bad jokes. I love talking to you all 'cause it's like a fun little chat thing. I get a lot of work done more than I might otherwise. Like it's still back and forth, but the notes are there, and I love that. I love getting to do stuff like this. So I really appreciate you guys coming and joining me in the chat and talking to me. Things like I know it's not like getting to socialize like we used to in person with friends and whatnot, but I really do appreciate it. If nothing else, from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys for helping with this because this means a lot to me, both on a creative level and a mental health level, and just getting to talk to you guys. So I appreciate it. I really do. All right, now that I'm done being sappy, give him a we'll give him some improved deflections of sorts, up their defenses. Kind of just playing with numbers right now, figuring out what I want to do with it. Definitely giving them a higher intelligence. Probably give them like a 3 or 4. Give him a 3 for now. Give him a 3 intellect. Hold on. Greg, no. Greg, don't do that, Greg. Greg, no. Now I'm sad. Now I'm sad, Greg. Greg made me sad. Greg, this one's for you. Here, enjoy your meme. Gregor Britton, just. All right, that's up. I'm not making any more silly faces for you guys. That's what we do. When we get to the point where we can have tips, we'll have a tip that just said if you tip this amount, Jake will make a weird face, and you can choose what the face is. Computers, giving them at least a 2. Might give them give them a 2 for now. Probably give them an engineer. Give them a 1 in observation. Probably do. Probably give them a 1 in determination. Alright, so we have unarmed, that's fine. That's fine. We need... It's kind of rough right now, but we'll get it figured out. For penis larger than life. Oh my god. Weird Mole coming in with some great material. Abilities named after Backstreet Boys songs, larger than life. I want it that way. That just we need now. I'm gonna make a jukebox robot that just makes things into reality, like based on the song. So now whatever the song is, it'll just like make them real, which I realize can make a lot of problems because a lot of songs out there just aren't okay to sing out loud. But we could, you know, have nice ones or silly ones even. I regret what I said immediately. Yeah, I regret that idea because people are going to use that against the world in some way. But you know, staircase to heaven, just a big old staircase. I appreciate you, Brendan. You went with a classic that's nice. Max, I want you to know that I have to approve your message because YouTube thought you were making bad words. It, what's new, Pussycat? It's just gonna be Garfield hanging out and just nod his head. Uh, I heard the robot too. I don't know what that song is. Weird, yeah, Weird Mole. I don't know what that song is, but fair enough. No idea. Uh, I'm getting so distracted by you guys just being so funny and weird. Is there another? Wait, what? Do I have another moderator and I didn't know it? My thing just said that another moderator's here, and I don't know why. Huh. Daniel, are you here, or is it Kristen? Did we make a moderator yet? I don't know. I'll figure that out later. I'll probably actually need to figure that out soon, I realized. So, what are we doing? So just easily distracted today. Just been so easy. Daniel from beyond the grave? He's here. He's leaving us messages. He's telling us, hello, darkness, my old friend. Kukri. This will need to be a one. All right, so I'm gonna go kind of fast now, at least with making stuff. I'm not gonna make it exactly perfect, guys, because I want to make some more monsters for you guys. So I'm gonna kind of do this in like weird bullet point form, clean them up, and probably by if I can get them done by Tuesday, I'll put them up on Tuesday, and you guys can go like, hey, check out the stuff we helped make. That'll be my goal for that kind of stuff, is that we'll like get through things like that. So, all right, Cults of the Void. What are singularities that we can use for them? We have Inkblot, we have Caustic Spray, we have I like Aegis a lot. Are there any other higher level ones you guys think we want to throw in these guys? They're part 2. So generally, I think our rule is if you're a part 2 lab character, like if it's the NPC is a part 2 of the lab. Like a part 1 is meant to be a 4th level character. So part 2 might actually be like 8th, maybe 7th, 6th. It's hard to decide exactly. They need to be powerful enough. I probably got to raise this person's wound threshold quite a bit. That's the one thing that wound thresholds are such an interesting beast. It's very hard to make a human, I think, be a higher than even like a par 1 because your hit points have to be so high. Nether Chains. Alright, well, let me see what Nether Chains is, because I do not know that one. Do you know what level... Do you have the time? Do you know what level Nether Chains is at? Because that sounds... You know what? Here. Guys, I'm going to start writing stuff down in here again, because that's useful. So we have Nether Chains. This will be our cultist. So this is our cultist. You know, at some point, I'll start doing the social media stuff again. And try and give the, like post a picture of, like, what we work on and things. That's actually a question for you guys, too. Is there stuff you want to see on social media from us? That's such a hard thing for me to like figure out because I'm so back and forth on social media. I'm just curious. I figure I have you guys here. I can ask you guys questions. Let's look at. We have nether chain. I love nether chains a lot. If I remember what this is, I think I remember what this is. Tangling grass, charging beast. We have that's level 2. We have our nether chains. All right, so nether chains. Optional maneuver to maintain. All right. Chains are up from all directions, coated in spikes and barbs, and wrap around the target. You roll against the target's defense score as if grabbing them. If you succeed on any roll against the target, target is grabbed. They can break free by spending a maneuver to roll against your intellect resist. That is a good one to have for these guys. Maintain the singularity requires your maneuver every turn. You can use one maneuver to maintain the nether chains. When you maintain the singularity, it will persist until the end of your next turn, and you roll to deal damage against any targets that is grabbed by the chains. Okay. Ooh. Oh. That's a good one. That is a good one. I also see why it's 4 slots, because that is powerful. Okay. Wait a minute. Should that be a... Question about nether chains for Daniel later. Does the nether chain area go away if like it grabbed no one? Is it just gone? Did it miss? Does this go away if missed? I hope you all enjoy watching me write horrible handwriting. I don't think any of you guys can see it, but it's just horrible. It's horrible handwriting. Can we talk real quick? Can we talk about the fact that this week, the week before, because I saw Copy Strike, Constance decimated the fights I had because of that copy or that duplicate ability. Thanks to Just Seth and Tad just being some powerhouses of damage, just insane. Okay. Nether chains is good. We have... There'll definitely be some control based. I think if we do nether chains... Oh, dude, nether chains with, like, Hellfire Blast just to, like, grab next turn if you're still holding them, just, like, blast down on... That's... Ooh, that's brutal. That's brutal. Hellfire. I like that one a lot. Okay. Alright. The cultist, I think. Is there any weapons they need to have? The cultists. Besides, oh, the needle. We need to make sure they have the needle. Which we have that written down. We'll get that set up. Alright. So, let's make a fractured beast before the stream's over. I'll go a little bit past the 30 minutes I said, because screw it, I'm the one doing it. We'll stop at the 3-hour mark. So, I'll get this stuff written up for you guys. That way we can kind of skip ahead for it a bit. Fractured beast. What is an animal? I want like 3 creatures you guys think that this cult uses the most. Or not, maybe not use the most, but like what is the embodiment they see? Is it just an amalgamation? Does each cultist that makes a fractured beast come out differently? Do we have any specific modes or styles for that kind of thing? Like the abomination I have are they're unstable creations, but we have fractured behemoths, we have the dragons, we used to have a fractured lion. We could do a chimera. One of the things that we're actually planning to do with the... if you go to the monster docs inside of, I think it's A to D, we actually have a chimera that's going to go up there. We're going to make chimerics. I think we're going to call them chimerics. Basically just like having a couple different versions of chimeras that might exist. That's also where you'll see cryptids are in there. Right now only Yetis in there, but we're going to add some other ones. Curtis, you said a blast comes down and all I could think about is being called a vorpal beam, kind of like a moonbeam. Ooh, that's really good. Okay. That's a cool singularity. Just like making a straight up beam of light that you can like move around, but it's a void. It's the void. It's a void beam. Vorpal beam. Void. I'm gonna put Vorpal beam for now because I like that idea a lot. Hmm. What if? Okay, wait. Hear me out, guys. Mixes of different animals. Oh yeah, no, definitely. I'm fine with that with mixes of different animals. But I also because you talked about chimeras, weird mole. I wanted to let you guys know we are doing chimeras at some point too, just because I love them. So yeah, I think a mixture of animals is mixture of different animals would be good. Like just they are just nightmare. The nightmare. The fractured beasts that are part of the skull are probably nightmare fuels. Yeah, just some like weird creatures, like amalgamations of different creatures, like they're whatever they saw before they got drugged up, or what they saw while they were drugged up. Nightmares. Get things like spider snakes, whatever that is. Scorpion bats. I'm just making a bunch of ascent monsters now. So, okay, back to this because Curtis mentioned something interesting. This Vorpal beam. What if there was a fractured beast that was literally a pillar that just moves around the area, just hitting things as it goes? Snake clowns. Jesus. Party, it's just a bird. Oh god, it has a tongue and has teeth. You all are. Alright. I'm really upset that I'm going to save the chat for this later because. Ugh. Birds with tongues and teeth and snake clowns. Alright. You know what, guys? I'll write them down. I'll write them down. Nightmare fuels. Yeah, we'll save. All right, all of this chat will be saved over. I'll make sure that it is. We'll post a picture or something to let people see like the weird stuff we come up with. That's what a goose is. Ah, goose have teeth? Wait, do geese have teeth? No, they don't have teeth, do they? I don't. You know what? We haven't decided if they have a mascot or anything. Weird mole, or if there's a like a first beast or anything. I do actually wonder what like the first fractured beast would have been. My brain kind of goes to like eldritch horror or like ancient mythical looking. Like maybe if someone looked at it, they thought it was a dragon or they thought it was like an old god from legends, things like that. By the way, sorry, quick random note about that. There is an idea that we've been kicking around forever now. We haven't gotten to make it yet. Of someone making like like the Gundam style robots, just huge mechanical robots. I can't remember if it's mechs or mecha. You can't say. Um, that unicorn but evil. Ew, geese have tongues. That's so terrifying. Makes sense, but still terrifying. This large robot that people made after gods and myths. So you have Hephaestus, the guy who made stuff, but he makes so there's this giant robot god creature like fashioned for the god, but creates balls of energy like the forge and like sends them out and uses them. So then you have like a lightning Zeus character who throws down lightning, things like that. Hades just fire everywhere. It's just a weird idea we had. Hephaestus, thank you, Hephaestus. Thank you, Omnicron, Omnicorn, Omnicorn. I don't remember which species, but there's a goose or duck that has something similar to teeth. Ew, Curtis, this is why I don't want to eat your food now. You tell me things like this. I should know this stuff too, but it's weird. An evil unicorn, the Omnicorn. Doesn't Omni mean all? Is it all horn at that point? Is that what Omni means? Someone tell me what Omni means in the chat. Like, let me know, because if it does, that just means it's one giant horn. Okay, what I was talking about was this pillar creature for fractured beast. Welcome to me just talking. Why did you think I want to make it? Nah. So Mohawks horns. This pillar of just fractured beast that doesn't attack things. It just kind of it attacks by moving through things. It's almost more like a slime or ooze, but given fractured form. But it is this 40-foot tall pillar of a fractured beast that just kind of moves around and attacks things and affects them in that way. So it's almost more like fighting an environmental effect than a creature. Does that sound fun? In all ways or places, Omni equals void corn. I'm just saying, it means it's a whole bunch of horns are on it. Or it's the omnicorn, which means it's the corn on the cob that knows all. And that means you're deep in the corn. And that one's for you, Curtis. Deep in the corn. So. Dang it. Dang it, Greg. Oh, now I'm worried. What did I do? What did I do besides that one face? It's gonna be something about me making fun of my ADD of me like going back and forth in ideas. I know that. Somehow it's gonna be that. So we have so let's go over these ideas real quick. So we have a huge bucket of popcorn covers the whole area. Oh god, you all are just magical beans. That's what you are. You're just magical beans. Beans. Why is being like a human being and bean so close together? Is it just my Midwest accent? Is that what it is? People not from the Midwest, if you're here, does bean and bean sound the same when you say it? Magical beans. God, we have so many weird things. Void popcorn. It burns. Before you had to worry about the popcorn being burnt. Now you have to worry about the popcorn burning you. That reminds me. I want to make a soul form now out of popcorn. Just weird things like that. Magical beans. New projectiles for slingshots. Oh, God. I love you guys so much. You are weird. Alright. We'll do the last, let's talk for a few minutes before I head out. We got 10 minutes or so. Or 5. Whatever I do. What are some things that you want to see more of for these we got a cool cult kind of set up. I'm going to build more of this cult out. But next stream, do you want to see more of this one? Developing this guy more? Do you guys want to make some new monsters or new locations and lore and stuff? Yeah, bean. I know, right? A bean of beans. We can... I'm curious what you guys want to do with this stuff, because I really do appreciate you guys kind of helping out with this, figuring out what we're doing next, because this is kind of weird times we're in, but we're trying to make the most of it by doing these streams. And nothing else, it's fun just hanging out with you guys. I love all of you guys for this stuff. Lore and history stuff. Yeah, we can definitely play some lore and history stuff. I think, yeah, so in mine, so we're doing it in 2 weeks. We'll do 2 weeks. I'm going to go with that 2 weeks thanks to, I think it was Brennan. I think it was Brennan. If it's not, I'm sorry, whoever told me. But talking about every 2 weeks is probably a good idea just for schedule wise. The 18th in Human Rights Movement chat. That could be fun. That could be some lore stuff we can play around with. So the 18th. So yeah, in 2 weeks on the 18th, we'll try to do some lore chat. Try and get some things organized if we want to do the Inhuman Rights Movement. Was it not? It might have been. It was one of the other it was one of our people that is very active. It might have been Weird Mole. I know it's in the Discord, who was saying do every other bi-weekly just to not burn myself out, which I appreciated. It might have been one of the other. It's probably someone else then. I don't know. There's a lot of you who are active, and if I'm not looking at the chat, you all blend together because you guys are so creative in my head, and I don't see your faces, so they just kind of blend. So, yeah, the 18th of September we'll do. Definitely not doing next week. But in 2 weeks we'll do another of these kind of dev chats with me. I believe we're back next Tuesday. We'll be back to doing our regular schedule, which will be the settlement, which will be them. They just arrived at the settlement that hopefully could be some allies. There is definitely going to be some weird stuff going on, but it'll be interesting. I'm not going to say too much because Max is here, and Daniel might go back and watch this, or Kristen might. Who knows? So Yeah, I think yeah, it's like 2 weeks. We might do some lore. Trying we're getting the level 12 figured out. I promise. That's just Warhorn had a hiccup, and we're trying to figure out what's the best way to get people organized so we don't mess that up. The tour, unfortunately, just our schedules are so crazy right now. I keep trying to figure out when my schedule is going to allow me to, but my schedule changes almost weekly now. But hopefully, me Fridays I usually figuring this stuff out, so we'll get it figured out. But now you can make level 12s with the new character, the new NPCs and whatnot, and you guys might fight some things like these. So, I think that's everything. Like I said, go check out the Patreon if you want. By the sentient oil tank. Oh god, a sentient oil tank sounds cool. Yeah. Listen, there's something. There's something. Don't worry. There's something in the town. It's hopefully gonna be a lot of fun for you guys to play with. So yeah, I think I'm gonna finish it up here. You all are amazing. I love you all so much. Thank you guys again. You guys are making this quarantine a lot more fun for me, both in the Discord and the chats when I'm running games. I'm enjoying developing this a lot. We have a whole new cult. I mean, in 3 hours, you guys went from we didn't have a cult to we have a cult. We know kind of their motives. We know some of the powers they have. We know what their style is a little bit. We got some real weird ideas that I'm really excited to throw in there. So yeah, we're gonna do a lot of fun stuff. So that said, yeah, join the Patreon, Discord. If you have friends that are interested in playing, send them our way. If you have ideas for social media things that you want to see us do, like if you want to see us, if you want to see me post the things we're working, as I'm writing them, like updates and things like that. I'm gonna try and put them in the Discord no matter what. Just kind of know the Discord's where a lot of you guys are active. But yeah, we'll figure that out. We got our Patreon adventure probably in the next week or probably the next 2 weeks because I know Daniel's finishing up some stuff and taking a break. Then we will keep going and seeing how that goes. But if you haven't ordered the book yet, feel free. I think my book won't be in by next week, but it should be in by the next Jake stream. So yeah, thanks again, everybody. I think that's gonna be it from me today. If you have any questions or whatnot, drop on by the Discord, and we'll see what else comes from these weird adventures. So, thanks again, guys. Bye.